Hello guys, I'm currently watching Love Next Door on Netflix, which is a 16-episode drama that currently has like 6 episodes released on Netflix. Oh my lord, this drama, man. It's a romance drama that is veering towards friends to lovers, and it stars Jung Hae-in as the male lead and Jung So-min as the female lead. And basically the purpose of the drama so far is basically the female lead comes back from the States because she quit her job, rather got fired, and also like kind of broke off her engagement. So she comes back to her family home to just kind of like calm down and get relaxed after working so hard over the years. And so we know from like the first couple of episodes that the male lead is definitely in love with the female lead, but his actions don't match his words. So he acts like he's in love with her, but he basically tells her to go away and that she's awful and that she's insane. And it's like anybody would get mixed signals from that, to the extent that she doesn't even fully know that he is in love with her. It's not something that she is aware of, unfortunately. And even though as the viewer you can clearly tell that like all the looks and all the like his facial expressions, that you can just tell that he's so deeply in love with her, but like he will not say it. Like it's just it's so frustrating. Like there's a scene in episode 2 where she comes into his office at work and his co-worker's like, oh my lord, it's you. And the way he looks when she walks in, like it just feels like it's like, oh, my baby's finally come home, you know what I mean? Like it just feels like a great reunion. And I love that, to be honest. Like I love the dynamics, and it's definitely like a rom-com. Like the humor veers towards kind of slapstick humor, to the point where you kind of feel like they're forcing the humor. Like from a screenwriting perspective, the humor definitely feels forced, but I'm still enjoying it in spite of that criticism that I personally have for it. And also like the differences between like the female lead's home life and the male lead's home life are very apparent. The female lead's home life, like although her and her mum kind of like have differences because her mum kind of projects her own dreams and wishes onto her daughter, there's more love in that family. Like the mum and dad, from at least what it looks like, pretty much have a loving relationship. She has a sibling, she has a younger brother, and she's like a gym shark kind of thing. And you can just tell that it's like warm and cozy in their home. Even their home looks really warm and cozy. And then compare it with the male lead family, where his dad's an ER doctor and his mum's like a diplomat of sorts. Like he was born in France. And in their home, when they're having dinner, you know, the space is so kind of empty. Like there are things in it and it looks really nice, but it looks empty. They're sitting at the dinner table, the dad's constantly at work. You can just tell the mom and dad have a very like loveless marriage. And he's an only child, at least from both of his parents. We don't know if the dad has an affair or the mom had an affair, but he's also an only child. So it's just like your parents don't have the best dynamic, and then you're all alone. And you get flashbacks to when they were in high school as well. And he was a swimmer in high school, right? So we had a swim meet, and the only person that showed up was the female lead. And she was cheering him on, and he came first place. And you can maybe attribute him coming first place to just her being there, even though when she was there and she was yelling, he was like, why is she yelling so loud? He clearly was very happy that she was there, which likely was a motivating factor to him getting first place. And it's just like, he clearly has a lot of emptiness in his home life, and she, as insane as she is, or as insane as he says that she is, she clearly brings him a lot of joy. And for her, she has a very cozy home life. And as I said, his actions and words pretty much give her mixed signals, so she can't actually know if the male is in love with her. Like maybe a hint of her is like, maybe he likes me, but then he'll turn around and like say awful things to her, just further confusing her. So I kind of understand that. And those are my thoughts for like episode 1 to 2, but I'm loving this. But this video will be a very long discussion on it, so let's go on to the next bit. I also want to add, when it comes to the male lead's mother, you know, she's a diplomat, she's a career woman. it begs the question. It's like, can you do it all, right? Can you be a career woman and a mother, and can it work without you fracturing the relationship between you and your child, right? Versus the female lead's mother who sacrificed like her own dreams, not only because she was like, well, mainly because she was poor and couldn't afford to go to university, but like kind of also kind of like, even though it didn't work out how she wanted to, she's better able to serve the needs of her family and better able to actually parent her children better. Even with the problems they have and the toxicity that they have, she just shows up as a better parent anyway. Begs the question. I don't know. Debatable, huh? Another theme this show covers is racism. So we know that female lead leaves the company because of workplace bullying, and also because they were racist towards her. They were like, you're super hardworking because you're Korean, and you're doing too much because you're Korean, and they were being racist, okay? And so in episode 4, when she's helping the male lead work on a project that he's supposed to be doing with Grip, the company that she left, and she finds out that they're just kind of using him, she kind of yells at him and is like, you don't know these people like I do, they're racist, and there's no point you even trying to work hard for the company. And he tells her, you don't know me, like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless of how they're gonna behave. I'm not you, you're not me, you know. But she's had like a really terrible like racist experience at work, and she's trying to warn her best friend, and he's just like, you're being emotional and you're freaking out and you're triggered and you're traumatized. And people actually at this point still don't really know, like the characters don't really know what's happened to her yet, but we do, and we understand why she's reacting in the way that she's reacting. So that's quite interesting as well as another theme for this show. Aside from racism, there's also classism, because there's a meeting that happens with Greb, and the female lead meets somebody that she worked with back at Greb, and he's a Korean guy. And she then overhears a conversation about the Korean guy and 2 other like people from Greb basically talking about how she would be doing all the work for everybody because she would get a pat on the back for it, kind of thing. That clearly comes from classism, because we know her background, right? She comes from a poor background and has to work twice as hard to get to where she wants to go. So by the time she gets to somewhere where she was basically handed an opportunity through scholarships for, from the place that she applied to, by the time she gets the job that she's always, well, maybe not always dreamed of, but the job that is something that will get her high praise for, to maintain that position, she burned herself out doing a bunch of work for people, right? And being praised for it, but not really, that didn't really meet any sort of emotional need for her. And that reaches into classism, because she would not have done the stuff that she did and basically like downgraded herself like that had it not been for her family background. And I'm not blaming her family background or her family for like the way she behaves necessarily. Like it's a result of circumstance rather than her actual family. Like it's the society, and the society that likes talking down to people in front of their face and behind their back. And it's racism as much as it is classism, and it's all really wrong. And like, of course she'd be burnt out and have emotional outbursts when she realizes that that's the situation that she's stuck in. And I definitely think that it's both racism and classism, and it's really unfortunate that another Korean dude like took advantage of her like that and like laughs with her in front of these foreigners, basically, right? Like, it makes me really sad. I feel really, really sad for the female lead, because she's done everything for everybody else her whole life, that she doesn't know what she wants, and that's so sad. And I want to also compare that, like, for the female lead to like the male lead, and him not knowing how to tell the female lead that he's in love with her, and not knowing how to let go of pride and privilege in order to admit to himself that he loves her. It's like it has to be, you know, I would argue maybe something similar to Pride and Prejudice. Like, he's not Mr. Darcy by any means, but there's something of that back and forth with them, isn't there, where like it's the constant denial of feelings because For her, it's I have something more to do, I need to figure it out. And for him, it's I don't even know where to begin when it comes to transitioning from like a friend to a lover. So it's like this show covers so many different themes. And I love it. I love it. Like, love Next Door, but Next Door is everyone. Everyone's interconnected. The whole neighborhood is together. Like, the second couple, like, the journalist was a student journalist and knew them when the male lead was a swimmer. They meet later on, and then, like, he's gonna have a thing with one of the best friends of the female lead and male lead. And it's like everybody's so interconnected, and the writer clearly wrote this very intentionally. It's supposed to be a TV show about a very close-knit community that relies and supports each other through tough times, because tough times will come. I love it. But yeah, I know they started off with racism and classism and kind of like extended into more things, but this is definitely just like a barrage of thoughts about Love Next Door and how much I love this show. And finally, up to episode 6, Melody had to figure out if he's going to confess to the family that he loves her or not. And that's final. And that's everything. And this show's main themes, as I said before, are racism, classism, and love, and friendship. Very, very interesting show. So far, hoping for a good ending, but you never know, do you? With dramas. So yeah. Oh, one more thing I should probably say before I go is the dad getting scammed just kind of adds on to the classism thing. But I'm glad she had the close-knit community to help her dad, right? And that's all. Later, guys. Let me know in the comments below, like, your thoughts about these first 6 episodes. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Like this video, please hit the like button below. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.